The arrival of baby Eevee changed Peppa Pig forever. Nothing will ever be the same again. Did you catch all the amazing changes that came with the birth of this little piglet? Let's start with what is, without a doubt, a historic change that no one saw coming before Eevee was born. The Peppa Pig intro was changed for the first time since the show aired 2 decades ago. It still follows the same format as before, but it's more dynamic now, and of course it features the youngest daughter.
It's my baby sister Eevee, and this is Mommy and Daddy Pig.
Another thing that had never changed in all these years is the Pig family's house. We've seen it and its setting so many times that we can picture it in our minds just by closing our eyes. But now the story is different. The Pig family built a brand new house, bigger than the old one, to make sure the baby could live there comfortably. Yep. Every single one of Peppa's new adventures will take place in this brand new home. The new house looks a lot like the old one, so we won't miss it too much, but at the same time, it brings several new elements that refresh the whole show. What kind of changes, you ask? Don't worry, we're here to walk you through all 30 details you might have missed in the new season of Peppa Pig. So get ready to jump in. Another episode of Cinewave is starting now. Building a new house was definitely the right call, especially since taking care of a crying baby in a tiny little home is no easy task. Plus, the new house even has a room just for Eevee. Her little space has everything a baby could want and need. A crib with a railing, ducks everywhere because that's her favorite animal, and a toy basket just like the one in Peppa and George's room. Pretty sweet, huh? The pig residence wasn't the only thing that got upsized. The family car also got an upgrade. After all, they needed a vehicle that could fit the whole family, including baby Eevee in her stroller. Honestly, they probably keep a stash of diapers in the trunk just in case there's an accident on the road. It's always smart to be prepared for the worst. Along with the new car, the pigs also got a garage, something the old house couldn't accommodate because it was too small. The car used to always be parked outside, but that's no longer necessary. And the garage doesn't just hold the car, it's also used to store a bunch of other stuff, like tools, toys that Peppa and George don't use anymore, and lots of boxes. This update is one that Peppa and George surely loved. Their parents bought a slide that now sits in the backyard. Now they can slide and play for hours without needing to go to the city park, which is every kid's dream. Poor parents will now have to listen to their kids begging for a slide just like Peppa has at home. Moving inside the house, we've got to talk about the living room. It looks totally different now and way more stylish, with a light green wallpaper that has fun patterns. Very different from the old dark green painted walls, and that's just a tiny detail compared to the rest. The couch and armchair were also replaced. Both are now dark blue instead of purple. They even have cushions now, which weren't there before, probably to make it more comfortable for Eevee when she wants to sit down. Speaking of blue, a matching blue bookshelf was added to the couch. You can see a few books stored there. So who's the bookworm in the house? Daddy Pig or Mommy Pig? Our bet's on Mommy. Right next to the bookshelf, there's also a new wooden coffee table placed right in the middle of the living room. It's really exciting to see Peppa Pig getting this kind of refresh, right? If you agree with us, drop a comment down below with hashtag Eevee in honor of the youngest member of the pig family. Under the living room table, there's a cyan blue rug. They probably added the rug thinking about Eevee's comfort, just like many other things in the house, since now the baby can sit and play on it instead of being stuck on the cold, bare floor. Peppa's parents took the opportunity to update a few things that were long overdue for a change, even if they weren't directly connected to their new daughter. One example is the TV. Before, they had a little old box-style TV, but now they've got a nice new flat screen. The Pig family must really love wall art, because even though the house already had some before, there are a lot more picture frames now. In the living room alone, 2 more were added, which makes sense since the space is wider now and the walls have more room for decoration. The frame on the right, the one showing several little houses, was already there back in the old house, but the 2 right next to it are brand new. And remember that purple picture that used to hang in the middle of the wall? It's not there anymore, but it wasn't thrown out. It was just moved and now hangs on the left wall. The kitchen is full of new touches too, and one of the cutest is that the fridge is now covered in adorable photos of Eevee. That just shows how much every member of the family has had their lives changed for the better by this little piglet. Just like all of us who love Peppa Pig, of course. The new kitchen counter kept the same color as before, but now it has a bunch of tiny details that make the old one look way too plain. And now there are a ton of kitchen items sitting on the counter and in the sink. A toaster, a kettle, dish soap, a sponge. Way more realistic, right? These are usually the last parts of the house that still look empty. And look, there's even more storage space in the kitchen now, like the wall shelf that was added above the counter. There used to be an analog clock hanging there, now we can see several mugs sitting on the shelf. Thinking about safety, a baby gate was installed on the stairs. That keeps the little one from going near the steps and possibly falling when no one's watching. We know Peppa would never let that happen anyway, but as Daddy Pig himself said in the episode where the gate was installed, you can never be too careful. The entrance to the house is pretty small. Even so, the Pig family still found a way to give it a little makeover. First off, they added a framed photo of the whole family, including Eevee, of course. They're truly more united than ever. Next to the family picture, there's another frame above the stairs with just an image of a bottle and a piece of fruit. That picture was already in the house, but it used to be in the exact spot where the family portrait is now. It was just moved, just like the purple picture from the living room that we already talked about in this video. The family probably decided to move the portrait closer to the entrance because it's such an important memory they made with Eevee. Speaking of memories, this is the perfect time to remind you to hit that subscribe button. That way YouTube will always remember to send you our videos about your favorite cartoons. You probably remember the coat hooks with the raincoats hanging by the door. They're still there, but now there's an extra hook for the little one's raincoat. More than anyone, she needs protection from rainy days, especially since the episode where George caught a cold taught everyone what happens when you don't bundle up properly to play in the rain. And Peppa definitely doesn't want Eevee getting sick. She was traumatized after spending the night listening to George sneeze. So now they're extra ready for England's chilly weather. Above the raincoat hooks, there are other hooks for jackets, scarves, and beanies. Before, they had to grab that stuff from their rooms. Now they just pick it up right by the door whenever it looks cold outside. No doubt it's way more convenient. Speaking of convenience, they added a boot rack just below the coat hooks. Those are perfect for rainy or snowy days too. In other words, every piece of cold weather clothing you might need is now right there at the front entrance. Another thing by the front door is Eevee's stroller, where she rides when the family goes on trips. No need to say it, but that definitely wasn't there, or anywhere else in the house, before the baby was born, right? It's just like back in the days when Peppa and George were little ones too. If you're a super observant fan, you might have caught some of these details, but we doubt you noticed that the front entry light in the new house is a completely different one. If we compare it to the light from their old home, it's easy to see it's a different model. But it's the kind of thing we usually pay so little attention to that most people didn't even notice the change. Oh, and if you're wondering, yes, even Daddy and Mummy Pig's bedroom is different now. All these years they slept in a room with pink walls, but now the walls are purple. I'm starting to think that maybe Eevee's birth was just an excuse for them to move because they were sick of the old house. Back to the wall art, there used to be a picture of a flower hanging on the wall behind their bed. Now there are 3 frames, and they all show tree leaves and the sun. Peppa's parents must love feeling connected to nature from the moment they wake up. The wardrobe. Well, we don't even have to say it, right? Yep, it got replaced like so many other pieces of furniture. The renovation spared almost nothing. The new wardrobe isn't that different from the old one, but here's a fun little detail. There's a shirt with flower prints hanging in it. That kind of clothing is usually worn in warmer, beachy places, which is kind of funny considering Peppa's town usually deals with rain and snow instead of sunny days. The bedroom curtain also got a makeover. It's green now instead of magenta. Nature-themed wall art, a tropical shirt, green curtains. Could Daddy Pig be planning a Hawaiian vacation with the family? Because he and Mummy Pig clearly seem interested in spending some time somewhere a bit more tropical. Last but definitely not least, the bathroom. It's one of the rooms that went through the biggest transformation, from the wall color to the floor and even the toilet. And best of all, it has a tiny bathtub made just for little babies like Eevee, so she can enjoy her bath time with ease. Want to keep having fun with us? Then go ahead and click one of the 2 videos we left for you on the screen. You won't regret it. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.